Right now at 6, Hillview Renovations. The care facility is looking to make its space more community-focused.
And impacted HSHS and Prevea healthcare workers are on the job hunt. Today, many stopped by an Eau Claire job fair looking for their next opportunity.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown.
The man allegedly responsible for a hit and run in Westby appeared in court today.
Last Sunday, Vernon County Police were called to Beckettle Avenue and 2nd Street in Westby for a report of a woman lying in the street that looked beat up.
An officer arrived on scene and found a woman lying in several pools of blood, as well as fragments of what looked to be a headlight near the woman. The officer then noticed tire skid marks on the road near the woman, and those tire tracks were found to be consistent with a UTV.
At 9:30 a.m., an off-duty police officer got an anonymous tip that 22-year-old Mitchell McKittrick was the driver of the UTV.
McKittrick is now facing charges of first-degree reckless injury, first-degree recklessly endangering safety as a party to a crime, hit and run causing great bodily harm, and obstructing an officer.
McKittrick will appear back in Vernon County Court on February 27th.
Well, we had another mild day, but cloud cover kept the temperatures down just a little bit. We didn't actually hit the 50-degree mark at either location, so we didn't hit records, but still, once again, very well above average right now. If you look at temperatures right now across the area, those are your highs, mid to upper 40s instead of more of the 50s that we saw a couple days yesterday, 51 in Minnesota, but basically the cloud cover has kept us. The wind has started picking up, especially further west you go, and this will be a common theme going out throughout the next several days, is the wind will be up from different directions. Right now from the south, but that will be increasing as we go throughout the night. There's your current temperatures. Some of that on radar is not actually reaching the ground. We call it virga, just precipitation not actually reaching the ground. It's more cloud cover, but we still might see a sprinkle from it overnight hours. Mainly it's the cloud cover continues to increase ahead of the system that's to the south into the west of us. We'll see increasing clouds throughout the night, thickening and lowering as we go towards the morning hour. But for the night, we're just looking at cloud cover, but very mild conditions. You see temperatures in the mid 40s still at about midnight tonight. So that's going to be very warm, and they're not going to drop much further beyond that. Notice the winds too will keep up as we go out. So as you wake up tomorrow morning, it's probably going to be a wet morning commute for some, which may stretch into noon, and then it'll break down the opportunity for some afternoon thunderstorms in February too. That all coming up a bit later.
All right. Thanks, Craig.
Healthcare workers impacted by Hospital Sisters Health System closures in the Chippewa Valley had the chance to meet with prospective employers at a job fair hosted by the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development. This morning, News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall met with a number of health professionals, hoping the next step in their career isn't too far away. Jeremy.
Emily, more than 100 job seekers filed into the Florian Gardens Conference Center in Eau Claire this morning, hoping to get their resumes in front of healthcare employers from across the region and make a smooth transition into whatever comes next.
Tell us what you have available.
For more than a decade, Sarah Wiseman has worked for HSHS partner Encompass Health. She never expected to find herself here.
I thought I had my forever job. I was so happy at Encompass Health, and then it was pulled right out from underneath.
Wiseman is one of 1,300 employees impacted by the closures. Today, the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development and Wisconsin Works hosted a job fair at the Florian Gardens Conference Center, bringing together more than 40 healthcare employers from across the region.
A lot of our staff were local people who are affected by this as well, right? Healthcare affects everybody. It's a personal issue that everyone has to take with, so everyone has been all hands on deck helping out as much as possible.
Bradley Phelps is a certified surgical assistant. Most upsetting to him is the idea of having to leave his home.
The shutdown of Prevea and HSHS here in Eau Claire has been devastating, and I don't want to really leave the community, so I'm trying to find something, locally.
ER nurse Mary Wider hopes to find something locally as well, but she worries the numbers won't be in her favor.
The area is going to get saturated because so does everybody in this area that works for HSHS and Prevea, and there won't be enough jobs.
The Department of Workforce Development and Wisconsin Works will host another fair February 20th at Chippewa Valley Technical College. It runs from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening. Ken and Emily?
All right, thank you, Jeremy.
Back in the fall, the La Crosse County Board approved an almost $20 million renovation for Hillview Healthcare Center. But what is that funding going toward?
News 8 Now's Allison Fergott has this story.
Ken and Emily, Hillview has been operating since the late 1800s, and this building hasn't seen a major renovation since 1980. They say this new project will help bring the center into the 21st century. In 2018, Hillview found that 50% of the people living there could be better served in a less restrictive, community-based environment. And that's exactly what they're looking to create. It's called a community-based residential facility, a place where 5 or more unrelated people live together in a community setting. It will give Hillview residents that don't need as much care and oversight more independence.
Generally speaking, CBRFs have private rooms and hopefully private bathrooms, but then have a variety of community spaces.
Through the county board's allocation of federal ARPA funding, their vision for a new space is coming to fruition. And it won't just benefit the current residents. The renovation will make part of the building into supportive housing for people who are at risk of becoming unsheltered. And it will add a child care center, making Hillview a care facility in every way possible. In La Crosse, Allison Fergott, News 8 Now.
All right, Allison, thanks very much.
The Hillview project is expecting to start construction this year and have everything completed by the end of 2025.
After decades in the making, Kenosha is moving to start building a casino.
City and county officials were joined by members of the Menominee tribe yesterday to sign an agreement. Emily Fannin has more on the story.
This is literally decades in the making. It's been a long journey for us.
Kenosha is taking the next steps to try and build a casino just west of I-94 near Highway 50. At the state capitol Tuesday, city and county officials, along with members of the Menominee tribe, signed a replica of the intergovernmental agreement. The ceremonial signing marks the latest move by the tribe, who's been working to open a Kenosha casino since the mid-1990s.
So there's so much more to it than just a gambling establishment. It's an entertainment venue. It's the variety of restaurants. It's the live shows.
Officials will now need to win over the Federal Bureau of Indian Affairs and Governor Tony Evers, who has the final say in either approving or rejecting the project.
We are hoping the application will be expedited to Governor Evers' office shortly after the new year or around the new year. We are very optimistic now that we do have 2 signed intergovernmental agreements.
Meanwhile, opponents are urging the feds and Governor Evers to turn down the Hard Rock Casino. They say there's too many unknowns, like what will the return on investment be and potential impacts on traffic flow.
They really should take a hard look and slow this thing down for everyone's best interests. We're always going to oppose it, but if they're going to move forward with it, they really should make sure they're representing the best interests of the citizens.
What do you say to critics who believe this process is being rushed right now?
We've had 2 referendums on this topic over the last 10 years. When I go out and talk to people, the majority of the people are either favorable or neutral. Very few are opposed.
It's unclear whether Governor Evers supports or opposes this project. His spokeswoman did not respond to our questions. In Madison, Emily Fannin, CBS 58 News.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken back in Israel today with hopes of resolving conflict.
But Israel's prime minister says only absolute victory can ensure Israel's security. Stay with us. That's next.
Ashley's President's Day sale is going on now. Shop incredible hot buys, your choice just $6.99. Or shop in-store for designer deals as low as $17 per month or $999.99. With 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase, in-store only. Only at Ashley.
Ready? Okay.
Look
Looking for fun, family-friendly entertainment?
The Lacrosse Sports Show returns February 8th through 11th.
Experience a safari-like walkthrough exhibit of kangaroos, lemurs, wild birds, and more.
Meet Dexter the dog, who learned to walk like a human.
Get grilling tips from Mad Dog and Merrill, or learn from fishing and hunting experts.
You can also feed parakeets, fish the trout pond,
and get free scoring of your trophy racks.
Come for the deals, stay for the fun.
February 8th through 11th at the Lacrosse Center.
LacrosseSportsShow.com.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy in the La Crosse area.
When you're talking to someone and you call someone at Olson Solar, it's not someone in Utah, it's not someone in California, it is someone local right here. By doing that, we control the entire process. So we control the project management, we control the design, we control the installation, the electric, the hookup, permitting, and that really sets us apart.
Stop into our location near you. Learn more at olsonsolarenergy.com or give us a call.
Ashley's President's Day Preview Mattress Sale is here. Right now, you can get early access to mattress hot buys, your choice just $6.99. Plus, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses. Visit your local Ashley store or ashley.com to shop the President's Day Preview Mattress Sale today.
Four months ago today, Hamas launched its brutal attack on Israel, killing more than 1,200 people.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken returned to the region for the 5th time since the war broke out in hopes of resolving the conflict. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
Haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah. Antony Blinken met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The U.S. Secretary of State is hoping to hammer out a deal that would end the war in Gaza and lead to the release of Israeli hostages.
The sheer agony, not knowing the fate of your loved one, it's almost unimaginable.
Hamas has laid out a ceasefire plan which would include freeing hostages, but demanded Israel withdraw all troops from Gaza and leave the militant group in power.
While there are some clear non-starters in Hamas's response, we do think it creates space for agreement to be reached.
Netanyahu called the demands delusional and said only absolute victory can ensure Israel's security. Blinken also held talks with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in the West Bank, where he was greeted by protesters. 4 months of war have roiled the region and left much of Gaza in ruins. Israel says it's planning to expand its ground operations into the packed southern city of Rafah. This Palestinian says the missiles just keep coming. In Washington, families of some of the Israeli hostages gathered for the inauguration of a new friendship group between U.S. and Israeli lawmakers. The parents of a 23-year-old hostage called her the sunshine of their family.
We are a strong family, and we are confident that Romy will be back home alive.
But there's growing urgency for a deal, as Israel confirms at least 30 more hostages are believed to have died. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Now, Blinken says the toll on civilians remains too high.
Another surge in flu activity across the country.
Experts are saying over half of Americans have not had their flu shots. More on that when we come back.
And warm conditions continue for one more day, but we have showers and even some thunderstorms for your Thursday morning and evening commutes. I'll break down the timing of that activity as well as what our temperatures look like as we go into the weekend. All that coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
We've done many, many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
It's time for more fun moments at Fanati's.
All set? I am. I just know my husband's gonna love getting these for Valentine's Day.
I'm sure he will. Hi. Is there anything I can help you find today?
Yeah, I need a few things for my wife.
Well, do you know what she likes?
Well, Amanda likes chocolate sea salt caramel.
Amanda! I know exactly what she likes. Brought to you locally by Fanati's Nut and Chocolate Shop in downtown La Crosse.
Welcome to Westville. Welcome to huge selection and savings. We are celebrating President's Day all month long. Take up to 5 years to pay interest-free. Need new appliances? Take 2 years to pay. Countertops? Take 3 years to pay. An adjustable base bed, take 5 years to pay. Wesco One Sparta, where white glove delivery and setup are always free. Tell them Peyton sent you.
The most important value of our law firm is our commitment to our clients.
The best part about dealing with Schwebel, Getz, and Sievin was how much they took off my plate. My mind was at ease. They just wanted me to heal. The staff and my attorney were wonderful. I highly recommend Schwebel, Getz, and Sievin for any personal injury, and I always refer my friends. They're the best.
Go to Schwebel.com and fill out a free online case evaluation. There is no fee unless we win.
Does your pet show signs of an irritated mouth, like bad breath or abnormal chewing habits? The most common emergency that Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics sees is a painful tooth that owners are seldom aware of. Contact Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics in Holmen today to schedule a free dental exam. 608-526-2200, because nobody likes a sore tooth.
Whether it's a bathroom remodel or comprehensive plumbing services, we at Maxwell White strive to keep our neighbors safe and comfortable in their homes, offering honest, upfront pricing on every service, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call Maxwell White today.
A second round of flu activity is spreading across the country following the holiday season.
That's right. More than 16% of clinical lab samples tested positive for the flu for the week ending January 27th, according to the CDC.
Now, that's up nearly 2% from the week before, and more than half of Americans have not had a flu shot, which experts say could help prevent severe illness or even death.
Not enough people really took the vaccine, and I would hope that people have a belated New Year's resolution to this fall, when we get into September and October, to get that flu vaccine, because it does help keep you out of the hospital.
The CDC says at least 20 million Americans have gotten the flu since October.
Well, we haven't seen pretty much any precipitation in recent days to kick off 2024, but that's about to change for the Coulee region.
It sure is. Get ready.
Let's get the latest from our chief meteorologist, Greg Barnhart.
Yeah, as you wake up tomorrow, it's going to feel like April with the conditions that we're going to have. Breezy, mild, and then wet conditions too. Really, it's this whole system that impacted the southwest is beginning to push now into the plains. Pretty widespread and kind of disorganized right now, but to the south, that's what's going to eventually lift up and form a decent low to our northwest. As you start off the morning, we're going to see a few showers maybe towards the morning commute, but a lot of this may not reach the ground. It's really going to be as we get closer to like 5 to 6 that we'll see it begin to approach western areas. I think by the time we get to about 7 or 8, I think a lot of the areas from La Crosse all the way up to Eau Claire, pretty much the whole area, we'll see some light rain, maybe pockets of moderate rain going into about 9 to 11. As you see right there, it could see some enhancement as we go to 10 to 11. Right before noon, we'll keep an eye on that. That's almost some moderate rainfall falling as we get closer. But quickly as it comes in, by the time we get to about 1, all the areas to the south basically should start drying out. Ladysmith may hang on to the rain a little bit longer to 1 or 2, but notice the temperatures. If we get any sun beyond this in the afternoon, these temperatures actually could get up into the upper 50s. Just depends how much sun we get. Notice the winds too, so it's going to be fairly mild, breezy afternoon once the rain passes, and then the main front comes through, and that's the timing where we could see some thunderstorms. A few showers probably by 3 to 4, and then a line will form somewhere in the area just to the west. It'll come through about basically 6 to 7 p.m. We're thinking timing-wise, we'll see a line of showers and thunderstorms as you go further south. Maybe a little bit stronger thunderstorms come through. Notice the winds too. These thunderstorms may contain some gusty winds as they come through. We'll quickly exit the area probably about 7 to 8. Then the rest of the evening really is going to be breezy as the winds turn around to the west. We won't see much in the way of probably precipitation going to Thursday night. Maybe some drizzle, but overall, once we get past about 7 or 8, most of the rain threat really does end. Severe threat, yesterday we had general. They actually upped it a little bit farther southern Wisconsin. Getting some daytime heating might actually get us into the marginal. If you're wondering what that really means, marginal, it's a level 1, very low, but still isolated, short-lived. One thing to keep a note of, these thunderstorms, if they're going to have anything, it might be some small hail and gusty winds given the setup. So unusual for February. We've seen this before, but once again, it's the first of the season. So timing is going to be about that evening hour. The winds, too, definitely out of the south as we go throughout the day, 15 to 20 at times, and then they'll turn around as in the evening from the west around 15 and continue that time overnight, and then probably pick up speed as we go on through Friday once again, but turning more westerly. So you'll definitely notice the winds throughout the next probably several days, all the way potentially through Saturday. Record highs right now we're going for 54, but if we get any sort of sun, those actually temperatures could be higher than that. So if we time it out once again, few showers, steady rain after the morning commute, most likely to about noon. We could see some moderate pockets. Then it should dry out in the early afternoon hours, getting warm, and then a few showers before 4. The line of showers and thunderstorms probably between about 4 to 7 coming through fairly quickly, and then breezy but mainly dry for the rest of the night as we go throughout. But for tonight, it's actually going to be fairly mild too. We may only get down to the mid-40s in certain areas. Once again, very warm as you wake up. The showers will start coming in late tonight, more closer to the morning commute. Otherwise, wet conditions in the morning, thunderstorms potentially in the afternoon. Temperatures mid-50s if we get any sun. We can't even rule out a place getting close to 60 in the afternoon time frame. Otherwise, you look at Friday, we're just going to cool slowly back down to the upper 30s throughout the weekend. Looks still fairly dry as we go into next week. Maybe a few snow showers here and there across the area going into next week. No significant storms expected. But by the time we get to Valentine's Day, we might be back to where we should be, which is about the low 30s by then.
All right.
So get ready for April tomorrow. For a little bit.
Tomorrow, okay,
Yeah.
we will.
All right, thanks, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the NBA trade deadline is near, and the Minnesota Timberwolves making moves. Find out a former Iowa State Cyclone that's going to Minnesota and what he brings to the rotation. Kate is next.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
When the insurance company sees Bygoff and Rohde on the other side, they know they're in for a fight. It's your life, but it's our fight. And they know that if they're not being fair with us, they will find themselves in court, and that's how Bygoff and Rohde gets results for its clients.
In 2001, my father established La Crosse Fireplace Company. Since then, our family has had the privilege of helping families create a warm gathering place in their home. Today, my brother Jeremy and I are the second generation to carry on the values and traditions that was started 23 years ago. Whether it's a remodel or a new installation, La Crosse Fireplace Company looks forward to serving you for many years to come. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
Made in America Showplace Cabinetry is the solid foundation for your new kitchen. Styles and features from simple to spectacular. Showplace offers all the modern features you want. The board store designers delight in helping you choose the cabinets, countertops, sink, backsplash flooring, and lighting that make your dream kitchen a reality. Enjoy peace of mind knowing your kitchen will be installed by the board store's carpenters, plumbers, and electrician. Showplace Cabinets and the board store, your winning combination. Get started today.
If you've been in a serious accident, you need a serious legal team. Bygoff and Rohde is the Western Wisconsin powerhouse. Attorneys who won't settle for less than you deserve. Call Bygoff and Rohde.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Kate Overton.
Welcome to News 8 Now Sports. The NBA trade deadline is quickly approaching. Trade and trade rumors are picking up with the deadline coming tomorrow at 2 p.m. The Bucks are one of those teams in the rumors, as they are now just 1-4 in their last 5 games. But the reality of the situation, the Bucks don't have a lot to give up without really hindering their depth. Now, that doesn't mean they can't make a trade. It just makes it a little more difficult. Regardless of what happens at the deadline, the team needs to figure it out with what they've got.
We're going to be fine. I think we're trending towards the right direction. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. Now we got to get in shape. No, we got to keep on getting better. We got to keep on working. We got to keep on watching film. Like now we have to work twice as hard. And if we are willing to do that, we're going to be okay.
Bucks will go again tomorrow night hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. Speaking of Minnesota, they heard about the deadline, so they decided to make a move of their own. They're adding to their young backcourt by trading for veteran guard and former Iowa State Cyclone Monte Morris. Morris has appeared in just 6 games this season for the Detroit Pistons, but now on the Timberwolves could serve as a great backup to Mike Conley and add another veteran into the locker room. Minnesota is sending over Shake Milton, Troy Brown Jr., and 1 second-round pick. The Badgers back on the hardwood tonight for a tough road task, taking on the Michigan Wolverines, coming off of back-to-back losses last week, but they have a chance to make a statement with a big win on the road. And the Badgers need this one as Michigan is just 2-9 in the conference and 7-15 overall. This one actually underway in the first half. I'll have full highlights later tonight. As crazy as it sounds, baseball season quickly approaching, and the UWL baseball team looking to follow up last year's D3 World Series run with another great season. The Eagles are the preseason favorites, as today the WIAC coaches and SIDs voted UWL as the team to beat. Stevens Point won the WIAC regular season last year, but UWL beat the Pointers in the Super Regionals to qualify for the World Series. As for the national rankings, Eagles entered the year ranked 9th in D3 baseball's preseason top 25. Eagles will start their season March 11th down in Florida. MLB teams start even sooner than that, and the Minnesota Twins officially add 2 more guys to their roster today, signing right-handed veteran pitcher Jay Jackson and slugging first baseman Carlos Santana, who finished the season with the Brewers last year before becoming a free agent. And right before I came out here, it was reported the Milwaukee Brewers are signing catcher Gary Sanchez. More on that coming up at 10. We'll be right back.
Stories are told on our Instagram at WKBT News 8. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
Where there's a flooded basement, musty crawl space, or wood rot, there's an answer. American Waterworks. For more than 30 years, American Waterworks has been solving homeowners' toughest waterproofing problems. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
President's Day is a time to honor all presidents, past and present. And at King Furniture, we're giving you the opportunity to save some presidents with huge discounts throughout the entire store, up to 60% off.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
And right now, you can get 0% financing.
So save some presidents at King.
For the record, Franklin was not a president, but you can save him too. It's the President's Day sale going on right now at King Furniture.
Nice people.
Nice furniture.
Nice style.
Seeing clearly matters. Being seen matters more. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Our composite windows are the clear choice for your home. This window is 12 times stronger than vinyl, 2,000% more airtight, and 40% more energy efficient, all at a price less than what many companies charge for vinyl windows. What does this mean for you and your home? Our composite windows make you more comfortable and save on your energy bills.
You're such a window nerd.
I've done my research, so you don't have to.
Come visit our new showroom and test the window nerd's knowledge. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows.
All right, we'll have rain in the morning for the morning commute, then you can see it drops off fairly quickly afternoon, and then we have that bump back up with the showers and potential thunderstorms coming through about the evening commute. Otherwise, Friday looks fairly quiet, but you see the temperatures begin to fall back to where we should be, although they're still above average, probably until we get to the tail end of next week after Valentine's Day, which will be back in the low 30s. But you want snow, we don't have it. You want cold, we don't really have it. But we got showers and thunderstorms tomorrow.
All right.
Good deal.
Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.